Alright, we're recording for part 3 in Titan Quest 2. And I bought this game, I don't even say the queue's provided. Yay! So, one thing though, that part of the reason why I'm lingering on this screen, I beat the game. Well, at least the first act that's included in early access at this point, and only took about 10 hours. So, and level 22. Now, there's more I can do in here. I've got, well, technically I don't have any missions left, at least none that I'm aware of. I can respawn bosses that I've beaten, and I can also do something that will raise the difficulty of the area, and I might do that and see how that goes. But for now, that's a different character that is not meant for here, so we're going to continue with this, the character that is for streaming. Alright. That. So I'm just trying to remember what all some of these are. Okay. Now I also do want to look at this, because holy crap, having volley with this. No, that's not a thing. Okay, maybe it's not in here. But the fire equivalent of this, where it converts to lightning damage, but it's fire. It has a chance of triggering explosions. It's awesome. I mean, it's like this. I will have to use this at some point to turn on the lightning strikes on the enemy. It's very, very powerful. Okay, so I'm going to beam myself over. Well, actually, no, I will go this way because it's added experience and such. Also, I haven't played for a while. I've had a busy week working on other things. I also did something about this. So now I put, instead of it being I to open up the inventory, well, it is both. I now have Z. So Z, well, that's Z, that's X, that's C. And that's so much more comfortable. What do we got for talking about? There actually is one piece of news that I didn't put in the Friday thing because it was already past midnight. And also, I didn't feel like it was as important, like that I needed to put it in the Friday thing. But the Dying Light franchise has been getting some attention lately. I think it's an anniversary? I don't remember. So, Dying Light 1 is going to be free to play over the weekend. Which I don't remember if I did put that in one of the things talking about the Steam Daily Deals, but that's, the equivalent of it, so that's also a reason why I wouldn't cover that. It's like I've already got a place that goes through. Dying Light 2 got an update to version 1.24 that has an improved stamina system and GRE mascot bundle. That didn't seem like I needed to necessarily cover it. But also, and this was nothing that's like, well, this is just unsurprising, because Techland has had a partnership with NVIDIA for many years now. Its partnership, the same partnership means that Dying Light the Beast, which is coming out next month, I think it is going to have DLSS 4, ray tracing, and I feel like there was another thing. Oh yeah, that's right, GeForce Now. It'll be available on GeForce Now when it launches. So, for those that matters to, the GeForce Now will be there. Do have another thing I can talk about, besides the game, that is kind of neat. So, AMD has put out a new Fidelity FX SDK, which Fidelity FX is supposed to cover a bunch of things. but it's largely just associated with FSR, which should also get. I mean, it also got some changes related to that. So we've now got FSR 4 in the okay. In the like I said, I was up late last night, so my brain is completely working. It's in the SDK now. That's what I was trying to say. That the thing is now, the FSR 4 is now included in the SDK. But it also has some other things that relate to FSR as well. That's kind of neat. So apparently, they have come up with a solution, which might just be DLLs, which I saw at least some people complaining about. Such that for FSR 3.1, was it 3.1.4 specifically? Will actually hang on just one. It only adds 5 at a time, so it's not super worth it at the moment. Yeah. Nope. Okay. They will actually have the drivers be able to upgrade the version of FSR for FSR, 3.1 and FSR 4. I had to look over. There's also like the machine learning aspect for the frame generation that's in FSR 3.1.4 that will also eventually be able to be upgraded. I think it was something like that. I mean, it was just some machine learning elements. But so some of that will be handled by the drivers, which means that, like, if there's, I think I saw on FSR 4.0.2. But yeah, so anyway, let me finish that for this. So FSR 4.0.2, I think is where we're at. If version 4.0.3 or 0.04 were to be released, instead of a game having to get an update to go to that new version, the driver would just be able to update it manually for you. So it would, in theory, make things easier on the developer. There's less pressure on them to do those updates, and easier on the player because there's, again, less pressure on them to figure out some other way to get the, in theory, better technology on there. But I did see some people complain, because I first saw this on Pharonics, and they are very much into open source. Some were upset that AMD's move is now including signed DLLs in there. So that would be pre-compiled stuff that it's just the game passes the information to, and then it passes out the answers, as opposed to it being just written into the code directly. Which I do understand that complaint. That is very reasonable, but it is still just how it is, kind of thing. Oh, over here, I didn't even know. Okay, yeah. So now I'll be doing that, and this will be fun. Because it's similar to what I have on on the other character that is maxed out. But yeah, so I do understand the complaint. It's also AMD accidentally, like the intern, whoever it was that had to handle this, maybe not an intern, whoever it was though, made a mistake and accidentally put out actually had the source code for FSR 4 go live for a moment there. Yeah. Which no one was able to like grab that, it seems, but some people were able to investigate it and find that there is actually code in it already that potentially offers a pathway for non-FS RDNA 4 GPUs to run it, to run FSR 4. Currently, FSR 4, to our knowledge, requires certain pathways in the RDNA 4 architecture that are to assist with the machine learning stuff. But there were apparently references to using int 8, so that's 8-bit integer calculations, 8-bit integer math. That would open it up to older AMD GPUs, and I assume potentially also non-AMD GPUs. Which that could be in there as old test stuff, just to be clear on that. It's like that could have been in there so they could work with it when before the RDNA 4 GPUs were available, and so they had to do work on RDNA 3. I'm just gonna keep going. Instead of like going back, making sure the area is completely cleared. But it still is, the code is still in there, so it might, some people are hopeful that means it will ultimately be used. I don't, well actually, hang on. Sorry. Yeah, look at how much space there actually was that I couldn't access just because of how this fills in stuff. It's inventory management of this game is really lousy. I mean, true, that also is a complaint you can make of the original, but it's still, that's something that a lot of ARPGs have, where it's like, hey, everything is vertical here, so we're gonna put it in horizontally first. It's like, what? And also, that this doesn't just sort it vertically, which is the optimal way to put it so that you have the most room. I mean, just, it's weird. Anyway, see, I don't, it will be interesting to see what comes of FSR 4 here, and as I don't remember if I actually did say it or not, but it is, technically, the fidelity effect stuff is supposed to allow for support for non-AMD GPUs. I don't know if anything has been worked on in that regard for FSR 4. Actually, hang on. Don't think there's anything here I'd want. Alright. But yeah, maybe that's in there to ultimately allow that. Which, if that is the case, why haven't they done that yet? Well, AMD's first priority should be its own products. And I think that's what they've done previously, where they, you saw it in game, you would see the stuff in games that they had partnered with, and then later it came to open source. But it's still hopefully it does go open source, because that can mean a better integration with games, but also, just as importantly, it means that other developers can get in there and potentially try some tweaking. Now, some of the machine learning aspect, they probably would not be able to do, because it's not like many developers would have access, or just random people would have access to the hardware necessary to come up with new training files, so that the quality of the machine learning will be improved. But there's still other things that potentially could be achieved, like the whole making it compatible with other hardware. Alright, now I'm just trying to think. Anything else to talk about because that kind of covers it. Games, well, actually, I'm not sure how much of it may have been Gamescom. Gamescom might still be this weekend. I've not looked. It probably was, actually, already, because it was opening night live, and I got so much news from that. Like, I wasn't up late just because I didn't manage time correctly. It was a lot for me to write up. Oops, wrong button. Alright, well, that's... Okay. I mean, I've lost some knowledge, but the armor is nice. I'll go with that for now. Okay. And I do remember I can just take a path and go. Things do wrap around. Oh, that sucked. One thing that I do regret about it, so I currently have it set such that mouse still moves even though WASD also does. One thing I do regret about that is it can be hard to click on some of the enemies. Like that is something I hope they do fix, make the target boxes larger, because it is so annoying. Now, let me get back up so I can kill them. That is ultimately the way I need to go, so I'm gonna just explore down here. There. And my hope is I will be able to get to the town, by the way, where I can also show you some neat stuff. And maybe also be able to do... Well, actually, no, I might not be able to. So, something that I've encountered a few times now is you can pick up a molly plant. I don't remember what the actual name of it is. Molly is part of it, though. That is for curing being transfigured. And it's kind of interesting because it's not just so that if you're transfigured you can do something about that. It also, you can give it to other people. And there was one that I found in actually in the town where it apparently a chicken was turned into a person. If you turn it back into a chicken, then just walk around to every location with chickens already there, it'll scratch at the ground, and it's a small just quest, but it'll scratch around and bring up some gold for you. I think at the end you also get a little bit of something, but it's still just a small but amusing kind of quest there. But now I don't need the cooldown. But ailment... So ailment is just anything that... if you see them start... where they're electrocuted and it's staying on them. Burning, bleeding, things like that are all ailments. That's actually probably worth putting. Um, but yeah, so ailment is nice. Personally, on the other character at least, I maxed out crit, which might not be a good idea. I don't know. It depends on the game, but some games it was straight up very much the meta that no, you max out your crit because, well, for one thing, it's just a safe, reliable thing any character can do by the items. But it was also it's like a chance to get 50% or 100% more damage. It's like, yeah, why wouldn't you take advantage of that? I mean, personally, I don't necessarily like the RNG nature of that. I'd rather just be more powerful, but when you can hit like 100% on it, not so bad. And yes, it is possible to hit 100%. And the critical hit chance, I don't know if it necessarily is. I think some games, that's even though it says 100%, that's not really how it works. Where it's like, no, you can never actually be above. Well, it's like it's always 50%. No, I'm not going to describe it very well. Where it's 100% of critical hit being yes, but there's still, it does this count as a critical hit or not, can be its own separate calculation. I think that does exist in some games, which you can say is annoying, you can say is unfair, but it's how plenty of them work. Well, at least some of them work. So it'd be like, yes, you have a 100% crit chance. It doesn't mean that every attack is going to be a critical hit. It just means that there's a base, but it just means that you have the highest chance of getting critical hit possible. That's right. I completely forgot about this stuff. Alright. There. Yeah, I don't want that. It's not going to be helpful. Yeah, so that will be good. Let's... that should be fine, but projectile homing? No, it's good. Let's do that. I'm not even sure what it might be referring to, but yeah, let's do it. I didn't realize that they were homing. Yeah, I'm trying to remember, because I feel like I should be able to name a game that did critical chance like that. But it's not coming to mind. And yeah, let's also just see what am I at? Yeah, +0 on the global critical chance, but I do on the other character is actually at 100. I think it is, or it's very near that. But here it did show a critical hit is 200% damage, and then what was the other one? Super critical is 300%. So that's if your crit also crits. So if it's old now, so I doubt many people, and hasn't been available for a long time, but the Marvel Heroes ARPG, that was it was critical and brutality chance instead of super critical. Like it was just a different name for the same thing. Yeah, I figured just clear some of this out.
No, the miss.
attempt that. That too, but I'll hang on to this for the time. Okay, hang on, what was that? I think I'll actually stick with this for now. Maybe I shouldn't, but I know some of the bonuses on it I think are going to be useful. Hey, I'm going to level up soon. That is one thing I do have to grant the game. It does seem like the time between levels isn't that great, which that's definitely one thing that was annoying in the original game. In the original game. Where there could be times that just felt like, okay, why am I playing for an hour and I'm still barely getting anywhere? And that's annoying for a couple reasons. One is just leveling up is a nice thing for just a sense of progression, sense of achievement. But it's also annoying when you're running into enemies that are leveling up as well. So it's like, if it takes a long time for you to level up...
They're far from the water, aren't they?
Longer for you to level up than your enemies, it gets very frustrating. Especially because then you fall back on...
By the gods, what are you doing over there? It's crawling with Ichthians. Your men will be over on this side. There's an equipment chest down to your right by the mine if you need it. Hurry, before the last bridge is destroyed.
Okay. Oops. Because, yeah, without leveling, you wind up with issues of, being just subject to the RNG, for items, which not necessarily always that good. Alright, so what can I do here? Might actually regret that a little bit. Nah, that doesn't seem too bad. Alright, do that. But yeah, it is one of those things about game design where gear is uncertain. By its nature, it is uncertain because of the RNG design. Whereas leveling is not, that is certain. So it is one of those funny things and very annoying when you have a game that decides, yeah, we're going to focus more on the gear being powerful, and that's how you're supposed to advance. But then it's like, yeah, but players can just have bad luck. Versus leveling that should be, for one thing, rewarded, direct reward based on time and effort, and so it should be far more reliable. It's also part of the reason why I hate some games, and this, it doesn't seem to be the case here. Where it's like you risk with a game that focuses too much on the armor for how things are balanced for the player, you risk it then being they need to be min-maxing, all this crap, and it's like, look at all of that. Okay, I'm like that's a ridiculous amount that you need to pay attention to if you're trying to min-max stuff. So that is very bad design, in my opinion. And it is possible for this game to fall into that trap. It isn't, but...
Now who by the ghost of shipwrecked Odysseus are you? On second thought, never mind. Grab that lever. We need to destroy this... Just try to cross now, scaly vermin.
Oh, I can't.
Ah, you. What god did you piss off that you've washed ashore here of all places? Nemesis? Ah, I knew someone who was hunted by Nemesis once. Years ago. A woman. With an infant. I hope you don't bring more trouble to our town. We're already dealing with one crisis. Oh, but... who would we be if we denied a weary traveler our hospitality? What you need? This sorry place. You're on the outskirts of Pyrgos village. Follow me. I'll show you the way.
Pyrgos village? Could it be? We didn't end up so far off course after all. The god Glaukos has a temple near here. He's an old friend of mine. He can help us reach the Moirai.
By the way, I do find it amusing. This is the tutorial area. It's like, and then this is where we wash up. So it's like, yeah, we really did not go far. I mean, it might just be that they intend this to be a separate, like you'd have to hit a button to... Yeah, I mean, it's literally protein items right there. Actually, hang on, let me... do that. But, yeah, it just... we didn't have much time to go off course. And this guy will be sticking... well, not necessarily with us, but will be around for a while. It's a named character, of course he is. Oh, and by the way, the whole how I'm not spending these points... yeah, that... It kind of sucks to say it, but...
Great dam. Glaukos ordered the Cyclopes to build it for the people here, ages ago. The Ichthyans broke through a few weeks ago. The floodwaters were merciless. The Ichthyans, too. Not even the god could stop them. Pyrgos would have fallen, too, if it weren't on high ground.
No, the Glaukos I knew would never allow it.
We don't really get an explanation of who the horse is, by the way, in his history. I'm trying to remember. There was something I was going to say, and then it slipped out because of letting them talk. Nope, not coming back.
Some Ichthyans must have gotten through before we destroyed the bridge. A word with you before you go. All right. I have to know. You come here, fighting like Achilles and telling me the goddess of all right. Glaukos. Oh, forget about him. Everything he touches falls apart. You're better off without him.
No! There must be some mistake. We need the gods' help to reach...
What did it say? Is there anything over here? A little bit.
After I became trapped in this charm, Glaukos was as true a friend as you could want. He gave me to Aristino because I asked him to. I needed to feel... useful.
One thing, I know I thought of it earlier, but I hadn't said it. One thing that is annoying, and I can say this because of finishing the game on the other character, I completely maxed out this, and it only goes up to 17. And that's disappointing, because it would be nice to be able to get more of those. I wonder if that's something that will come with updates, though, that will be potentially expanding on skills and abilities. Because, I mean, it's also, like, this highest level, just isn't there. So it's like, I've already gotten up to here, and it's like, yeah, this is only Act 1. So they might need to be expanding on the number of points abilities can take. Or else it's gonna have to be a very, very short game. Because, like, I'm already max level and everything. What do I do now? It's not where you want to be. But no, my guess is that they will just expand on some of that. That they wanted it to at least appear as though you can go to a very... that you can appear to max things out. But it's like, well, yeah, max out in the context of Act 1.
By Glaukos! Thank you! I was told it was safe one. Good thing you didn't waste any time getting over here, or I fear I'd be fish food. I came to check on my copper mine.
The heck?
Keep your wits about you. I came to check on my copper mine. It's the one you put thanks.
I don't know
Keep your wits
why
about
that's
you.
happening.
I came to check on my copper, but thanks to the militia's failure to stop the Ichthians, it's lost. Was there monsters? But no. Yesterday they came swarming from the south too.
Okay. So, little fun fact. Because I was also just clicking through that because of the weirdness with it pulling me out. K will pause a YouTube video. J goes back 10 seconds. L forward 10 seconds. Or it's actually forward and back 10 seconds times whatever your watch speed is. But comma and period will will skip the frame forward and back. You know, just one frame forward, one frame back. So if you need to adjust to like read what was written there, that's an easy way to do that. Because I was just trying to click on the seek bar. Did not mean to do that. Actually, I do want to do that, though. It just occurred to me, wait, that's poison resistance. Poison is so freaking annoying. It's especially like the spiders where you pop them, and then if you just step in it, you're getting poisoned. So like, actually increasing poison resistance would be good. So, going back a little bit to the Marvel Heroes game that I mentioned, Storm had an aura ability. Well, actually had 3. One wind, one cold ice, however you want to put it, and one storm, and well, lightning. And the lightning one would basically be kind of like it was more frequent than this.
Hello? I need some help here.
Than these chances of just, you know, like,
Oh, thank
however
Glaukos
frequent
you're
the
not
chance
one
to
of
hit
the
it's like
monsters.
that. It's much more common.
Thank Glaukos you're not one of... My little sister, Tamandra. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck. I'll wait here to keep watch.
I think I got time. Because I do actually kind of remember this mission. It's a little amusing. Oh, this is also something they can improve upon, by the way. And I'm just clearing something up. you can actually like walk up in even into those areas without it having you be teleported. You have to actually like click on the button that appears above it, and that is annoying. It should also be you're in the right spot. Okay, we'll do that thing for you then. You know what, actually, can I do it in here? I think so. I want to beam out, transport out, and just empty the inventory, because I will be getting stuff in here. I think even some of it will be decent. It'll also be nice whenever I get to the stash and can potentially, do some stuff there. They do have gear from that I collect on the other character that might be useful here. That I should probably use. And yes, I am at the point that it's like, if it's not at least yellow, I don't even look at it. Which is why one thing in the original that hopefully they do bring back is you could actually have it not even show them on the ground. Well, not put the highlights on them, but the little labels for them. So they'd still be there. You could still pick them up, but they were harder to find. Because like, yeah, you don't care about this stuff. We'll just not even highlight it for you. But then I'd also like it if we could get a pet system akin to either Torchlight or Marvel Heroes. I'd be good either way. Preferably a combination of the two, where in Marvel Heroes you could actually... They had a vacuum ability, where you could have it just vacuum up everything that was of a particular level and below. So just tell it, yeah, if it's white, just vacuum it up. It would get... it would actually go to experience on the pet. That would ultimately then give some points. If you want to not do that, that's fine. And by that I just mean if the developers, if they don't want to do that, have pets being able to get both bonuses, that's fine, but it's still the ability to just auto-sell it, let's say. But then there's also the Torchlight thing, which is you can put material on them as an extra inventory, and they can go sell. They can also go... Well, they don't need to buy anything, because there's nothing really to be bought here. It's not like there's potions. It's just that thing that builds up charges. Which, by the way, I've not noticed any having more than the 3 charges. I've also not really needed more than... Well, actually, two charges. It's like 2.5. I've not really needed more than that. But... it's still... I would appreciate... something that can mess with that. Like what can get on the things is what can get on here for bonuses. It's not terrible, but it's not as useful as you may think.
Us out of here! At last! The horrible fishmen have had us penned in. I have no idea what they thought to kidnap us for. I assume to ransom back as hostages. We are I just find it...
No, she's not. Okay, I will come back to this. Because this... Knows how there's 2. I don't think it was back. Hang on, let me check. There are multiple of those braziers, and you basically just need to light them in the correct order, which is 1, 2, 3. So 2, that's the one in the middle. Was there one in here? I don't think there was. No. Okay. but then opens up an area that it's a little funny. It also, you know, gives you some nice gear, or at least they're higher quality gear. They might RNG might still not be super helpful, but yeah, will still be there. But there's something else that happens in it that's kind of funny. Yeah, so these three are pretty sure it's just highlighting what you have done. I like that cooldown rate reduction. And nothing with molecules. One reason why I really liked actually playing as Storm in that was because those auras, and you could get the area of effect increase. You could have that grow, and oh man, I would do that and just have the entire screen blanketed by her damage-dealing auras, and it was awesome. It was awesome because like I just need to walk into an area, and everything is killed except for bosses. Like I wouldn't need to attack. It was so. And I like that because it was an achievement for me. It's like, yeah, now I just have to deal with bosses. I can still manually attack anything, and it might even be necessary to do so. But it's like that was fun. I also did that with Scarlet Witch, who had this thing where it would again, I could get that to the point it would span the entire screen, but it would also lift her up. And now that actually did use. Oh no, I do need to light them. Okay. That actually did use her energy, but it would also.
What are you doing? This is my hiding spot.
Yeah. But it would also restore it too. So if you were hitting things.
Spot. Okay. Safety. I am safe now that I've made it in here. Out there are Ichthyans everywhere. I don't know who. You can't hide in safety. I don't know who you are, but unless you're a god in disguise, I don't think you can defeat an entire Pyrgos will probably fall, and everyone will be captured by the I will suit myself. Please get out of here.
And by the way, in case anyone had any doubt, that is kind of sort of the story that you get later. That you are not necessarily a god in disguise, but actually not. That was worth. It is worth flipping. Well, maybe for that. Oh. Hope he's happy in there then. But yeah, it does actually say that, like, you know, what Nemesis' plans are, sort of, are kind of explained, and that, yes, you at least have the potential to become a god yourself and even depose Nemesis for God of Retribution. I don't really mind spoiling that. I think it's not too surprising that even for what has already been seen in the game for the story, you are special. You are not just a random person who washed up on a shore that has to now do this, which is kind of how Titan Quest 1 is. It's like, it's not like, oh, you are the person who became the hero. No, you are destined to be a hero in this, which I don't know how I necessarily feel about that. It is the cliche, it is the trope, and that's unfortunate, but so, you know, it's like there's a part of me that likes it better when it is just, no, you rise to become the hero, but I do also get the whole, you know, it's not always how it
good to taste fresh air
works.
again. I'm sure the
We all made it out without any.
Thank you so much for rescuing.
killing me? Those monsters wouldn't dare.
Gotta be
Wow, I'm so close to another level. Also, pretty sure I'm also pretty close to the town. So hopefully I will be able to get there before I need to stop. Alright. Let's do that. Sure. See, I honestly would not be surprised if this is actually lying to me and that it's only for these things. I would not be. Because that did not seem... Oh, no, reduce projectile speed. Sorry. Well, hey, that one. Yeah, that does seem a little bit faster. This part may want to upgrade that, but I'm not going to. No, yeah, get that. Actually, yeah, let me look at this. Okay, nothing for permanence. That, well, this could be cool. Oh, wait, no, this would be, that's it right there. Maybe. No, screw it, why not? There. Okay, so that is an attack. Okay, so, yeah. That sounds like fun. Not as good as I was hoping. I mean, it's not bad, but you can actually, I mean, there, more like that. Okay, so this is one of the chicken locations, by the way. Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's do this stuff first.
You're looking to buy a bow?
That cooldown. Well, yeah, no, I don't use the abilities that much, really. So, now let's see what I got here.
Keep your... If you need good store, admittedly, it's a as soon as that's fit.
Okay. Oh, that's okay. I can still throw those in there. At some point, I'm pretty sure you are able to share. It's like you had a shared stash in the
The militia is all
base game, in the original game. Sorry, I keep doing that, but yeah.
None yet.
Let me guess. You're not. I won't risk the luck, can you?
Sorry, this is just, he's the head of the militia, and he won't let you go past the town into where all the Ichthians are until you prove yourself. I'm just coming down here because that's another spot for chickens. So need to prove myself by killing an Ichthian commander they have captured back here, which should not be too difficult.
That technique. I'm sorry I mistook you for a common traveler, Aristino. Not Aristino of Sparta. I thought she disappeared when... Congratulations. You're officially part of the...
Sir, a message from Glaukos' temple. Ichthians attack...
Damn it! As you can see, we're losing ground out there.
The Temple of Glaukos? How? Old friend, where are you? We should go there at once.
No, we're not.
Be careful on the northern road. Giant, one attacked me yesterday. A pity. On night watches, I used to leave food out for them, and they'd bring me shiny stones. But something's driven them into a frenzy. The threat needs to be dealt with, but all our troops are fighting Ichthians. Thanks.
Okay, so there's
I'm a
that.
little busy right now. Always. You handled yourself well with that excellent. Find all 4 of the commanders and make them pay. Bring me trophies from their bodies once you're done as proof.
Okay, I'm gonna go through this kind of quick so you can just pause and use the comment period if you need to get that on the screen long enough to read when paused.
I might have been too rash. I can't say if she could have been a gifted soldier, but she chose after Sparta fell. I assumed she was lost like the rest. Me? I was stationed here when Sparta fell. You know as much as I do. 20 people say that Sparta challenged the gods and got what they deserved. Which god did Pyrgos challenge, I wonder?
Get this cart out of here.
Gave most of my stock to the military.
Just making sure that that is open. I don't remember.
A nightmare. I don't know how to run a village. Everyone, why isn't Issa back yet? The only way to reach Pyrgos is from the sea. The Ichthians have been attacking the elevator non-stop, but we can't get supplies to the farmlands or refugees to... She's my aunt. She's smart, but she went to help people in the farmlands. I need her. I'm not cut out for this. I can't even decide which tunic to put on in the morning. And I only own 2.
So we got 3 different traders in here. To be honest though, I don't really bother with them, except for selling. But yeah, so see how you can get the healthy generation. It's just stuff like that, or this where there's 2 on there. But yeah, I tend not to buy anything because why? I mean, this actually would be a decent upgrade. Well, maybe not. Okay, so this is... Yeah, so this is the guy who's actually a chicken. But I don't have the plant to give him that'll turn him back to a chicken. You then just run around to places like that, and yeah. It scratches things up for you. And they're all within the village, by the way, so you don't go anywhere unsafe. You're not having a chicken follow you around into dangerous locations.
Water. She saw water. As if we don't have enough of that.
An old...
Time out of mind, we've made offerings to Glaukos. God of you look like you've had an ordeal. Perhaps there's someone Your mentor sounds like a brave woman. Is there someone you'd like to... Of course. Glaukos was a mortal one. Some people think he's abandoned us. But I came here right away to see if the Oracle could confirm my dream. Is there someone you'd like to...
So we can do that. Now, this is what happens, and I don't know if there's... Okay, I just gotta reward that, but I don't know if there's anything else that happens. It seems to just hang here like this. Well, not exactly hang, but you know, just nothing else happens. So, and I don't know if it's like I just need to wait here for a sufficiently long period of time. So, yeah. Yes, this is talking about Glaukos some more.
Fate is shrouded in dark. Oh, God of... What happens when a god loses faith in himself? Her hands are stained. Do not speak her name. Her hands are stained. The fates conspire, but do not intervene. To learn your fate, seek the god.
And then here's where you can do this. So this would be to change up things, but here I could change this stuff. Not going to do it, but yeah. So that's what I would do on the other character that's complete to keep things interesting. I think it's also there that you can spawn up old bosses you've defeated. Maybe I'm wrong on that.
I sense something. I'm a scholar, a researcher. Embers of night, fragments of stolen dark magic. The embers are no use to you, but with them I... Good, thank you. It's far too slow gathering them on my... You don't have enough yet.
Yeah.
Fetch...
Okay, so we can see how much she wants. Right here, she wants 30. I come to here, repository, currencies. I have 9. Yeah. Well, no, actually, what I got currently is technically better. Nope. That does get cleared. Okay, nope.
I hope Canis made it. We were fishing at the secluded beach up north.
Everyone started panicking.
But not Canis. I don't know what happened to him. If you're going up there, thank you. The beach is north of the Enclave.
Smoke from Fishman fire. Everything is falling apart. Enemy smoke signals stain the heavens themselves. It won't be long before the fishmen...
This is the elevator. I'm just going to talk to him so he will let me through, but that'll be next week.
Only the militia. Ah, right. Welcome to the militia.
You may pass.
Okay, now I'm going to go back and just put that thing in the store, and I might... the stash. And I might also... I do kind of like the idea of pulling up the other character just to quickly show some stuff there. Give you an idea of what you can ultimately get to.
Need something stored?
One at a time.
So just to like make certain, because it doesn't tell you when it saves. So it's just, you know, that kind of, oh yes, it auto saves. Well, yeah, but when was the last time you give me that information? It's actually valuable. All right. I'm not sure where it will spawn me, by the way. I think it's... Oh, yeah, no, it will be back to the village, because it even... Last time I opened this up... Yeah, see? So I've got a couple permanent, well, a couple ores to activate. This is what has that dot above me. Yeah, so you can see 3 health regen, and it's just the amount of healing is based on your level. Similar kind of thing there. Everything green on this side, I think. Oh yeah, it's also green over here. I'm mainly using this though because, like I said, at 17 it's like 40% chance on hit to deal 14 fire damage in a 3.2 meter radius with 250% ailment chance. This is devastating to enemies, especially with a volley. I mean, in theory, I could also pop these off. I mean, I like them though, because volley takes 2. I could upgrade that again to have even more. You know, actually, just to, yeah, 60% chance to fire 6 additional projectiles. But the vitality damage mentions lifesteal, and I'm a sucker for lifesteal. Yeah, so this is maxed. Is Rogue? Yeah, so Rogue is also maxed currently on the divinity level. Yeah, it's you can get very, very powerful.
If you need good stuff, admittedly, but as soon as that's fit.
And I had so much stuff in here for sharing over, but just no. I mean, I thought that there was a way to share it. I'm not seeing it there. And also to give you an idea of the size of the map. This, by the way, is the temple that was mentioned there. Which, yeah, this is towards the end of the game, but you do actually go somewhere else for a lot of that. But yeah, there's a fair amount here. 9 hours is, yeah, I can believe it took me that long. Okay, it is just like that. Act 1 and 2. Yeah, was it the kid that was talking about oh, can you save my phone? Oh, I think that might be over here. You find him over there. But yeah, there's quite a bit going on. Quite a bit of exploration here. Probably next week I will only be able to span like this much or this much within an hour. So yeah. You know, actually, one other thing I want to do, because I do have stuff here for respawning bosses, and that's in fact relive a memory of combat. Go to a ritual shrine, unlock memory of combat. It's like this is ritual shrine, I believe, is what they're talking about. Yep. Yeah, use remnants. So I can. Okay. I'm not doing that, but I can. I was expecting it to be like a more specific thing. So that's actually. Oh, it cleared all of them. Okay. Alright. I don't necessarily care for that, but whatever. It's gonna be interesting though, because it means when if I do go through and start exploring, I will be encountering all of the bosses again. So expecting just, specific ones, which I, in a way, would prefer, because it's like, that way I just have more control over who it is. Plus, in theory, I was hoping I'd go straight there. I don't remember where all the bosses were. Alright, that is it. I shall see you next time, when on the GuestJim 1 character, we actually get into the farmland, the flooded farmland. So, see you then.